What's going on, beautiful people? Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you can see, we got a 5-man rotation and the 6-man of the year today. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna keep the ball moving. We're gonna do it Greg Popovich style in honor of our brother meeting him. That's a major key right there. Fellas, let's go around the horn while I share the link. MJ, start with you. How you feeling? How's the Zen this morning?
Hey, you already know, man. I'm just drinking water and minding my business, man. I mean, that's all I'm doing. This week, actually, with the picks, I think I'm going to get off the snide. I'm probably going to miss 1-2 at best, unless some weird shit happens. But, hey, I'm locked in and I'm ready, man. Let me go ahead and swing that to Vic. Vic, talk to the people.
What's going on, everybody? We got a special guest today. I'm excited to hear him talk. It's been a while. Of course, with the same guys, man. It's just fun talking football, talking sports, talking life. The connection is real. I don't know, man. Week 7? Are we in week 7 right now?
Yes, sir.
Sports in full swing. We still got baseball. We still got basketball. Things change in a week. You know what I mean? A week ago, it was cool to be rooting for the Yankees. A week later, it's not so cool. You know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing, actually. You know what I mean? So, it's one of those things where you kind of knew this was the end of the road for them, but it's an ugly series so far for them. But you retool and you reset and get ready for next year. Do it, try it again.
It was cool when y'all had hella home runs to hit, but now all you're doing is getting strikeouts. Jerm, talk to the people.
So, is this thing on? That's the first thing I have to say. Hello, everybody. How are y'all? Hello. Hey, man, I just want to know, if Brett Ripon, shout out to him. If he scored more points than Russ this week, I'm gonna have some things to talk about.
As soon as you said Brett Ripon, half our audience said who?
Yeah, I know.
But
That's the starting quarterback for the That's the starting quarterback for the horses today. Ain't for the horses.
And then we got the what's the word? Unreplicated Tyshawn Neal. Ty, it's been a minute, man. Talk to the people. Reintroduce yourself.
Hey, it's the Rolling Dolphin, man, baby. We just back here in the game with the fellas. Man, it's been a minute. I'm telling you.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
We went on a hot streak, 3-0, looked so good. Then Tua got hurt from an unfortunate situation that set a wave through the whole NFL. Had everybody questioning what the NFL union was doing. The NFL was running around saying, look, we got to throw some Band-Aids on something, fix it. We got to make ourselves look good, because after the reports came out, Roger Goodell and them was looking kind of bad, and the NFL Players Union president was kind of looking bad because their protocols was followed all the way through the T. And yet you still allowed T. Higgins to play after being knocked out unconscious and didn't even remember where he was. Then you had Hines getting hit. Then you had Clint Trick. Man, this has been a wild of a season for a lot of teams, people.
Yeah, a lot of teams. And listen, it's only going to get wilder. It's officially spooky season. We saw last Sunday was Steeler win Sunday in the NFL. A lot of teams stole wins, but really because a lot of teams were just giving them away. I mean, you're leaving your home unprotected. Somebody's going to break in and take what you given, and that's what happened to a lot of teams, including Aaron Rodgers, including Tom Brady. And it has sort of a domino effect when you start to see it that way. And October is trap week Sunday in the NFL. There is a potential for a lot of trap games today. We abide by the motto trap. So let's get right into it. We got a lot to talk about. We're just going to kind of work it into the games. We got to go a little faster this week, but if anybody can handle it, is this squad right here. Let's start with the first game on the menu. Ain't even no warming up to it, baby. It's the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are 6.5-point favorites. Over-under is 46. J.K. Dobbins is out in this game for the Browns. Jadeveon Clowney is questionable, but he is expected to play because he participated Thursday and Friday in practice for the Ravens. We know J.K. Dobbins is out. He's probably going to miss about 4 to 6 weeks. But all their corners should be good to go, including Mark Andrews. The only person we are waiting to see if he is active or inactive is Ronnie Stanley. And fellas, this game is going to be quite interesting to watch. I think both teams kind of having a seesaw year. The Browns, we know Jerm was talking about they should be 5-1 or 4-2. Instead, they're 2-4. And the Ravens they just can't seem to hold on to leads here in the season. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. You got the Browns run defense, which is butter, and we know the Ravens run offense is their strength. So it's a lot of interesting matchups. Jerm, I'll let you kick it off. What are you looking for in this one?
So the last time these folks played, it was a very, very intriguing thing and chess match with the linebacking core and Lamar Jackson and being able to keep Lamar contained. I don't know what's going to happen this time, but we're going to see. The big thing here for Cleveland is run the ball, Bert. Please just run the ball. I don't understand why we don't just run the ball. I mean, I might just turn around and hand the ball off every play for a whole quarter. Just so you might as well just get used to it. Because it's just at this point it's redundant. You have one of the best offensive lines in the game. Your offensive line is playing very well. The running backs are playing very well. The only person that's not playing well right now is the quarterback. And the quarterback is still not playing up to the part he needs to play because this is a team that's ready to win now. It's a lot of throws here in this week by week that Jacoby is missing that the Browns need. And we're just going to say it and put it out there like that. For Baltimore, man, I'm going to keep it all the way real. If I'm Baltimore today, I try to exploit every bit of this Cleveland defense today. I try to put in crazy work. It is no excuse for me not to score 25, 30 points today against this Cleveland team. So give me today, I'm going to take the Browns today still. Bro, the Ravens get no play in my ride because I'm sick of the Ravens fans. I'm sick of the Ravens contingency. I'm sick of Lamar Jackson. I'm sick of all of it. Like I said, give me the Browns for no particular reason other than I'm sick of the Ravens.
Vic?
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting matchup because you got a situation here where the Cleveland defense has gotten worse when we expected them to get better. We got a situation here where we got Lamar Jackson, who was in a 4-game interception streak, whichever way you want to put it. So with this poor secondary, is it going to be 5 games in a row where he's throwing a pick? He has been turning over the ball a lot lately. Shout out to Dennis. Gave us a few stats there the other day. I think he's got about 23 turnovers in the last 19 games played. So
yep.
Over the ball more than more games that he's playing. So Lamar's got to be better. Lamar's got to be better for sure. If you want to get paid how you want to get paid, and you want to get the respect that you want in this league. If I'm not mistaken, memory and my memory is not great. He had 4 picks the last time he played the Browns. So
no, that was the time before.
What was that?
That was the time before. That's the game that they won. That he had 4 picks. They had another game that the Browns ended up beating them, but in that game I think he had 2 picks.
Wow. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Browns can do defensively this week. Myles Garrett will come to play, even though he has a tough matchup against one of the best left tackles in the league. So, will pressure be an issue? Will the secondary be an issue for Lamar? Because I mean, right now, they're not playing well. They're not playing up to par. So, I don't know if we're gonna make picks yet, but I'll let MJ jump in.
No, go ahead, make your pick.
All right, I'll take the Browns. I think again, like you said, Mo, this should be a 5-1 team. They lost games by 3 points, 2 points. So I mean, this is a team that if they do not give up any points in the fourth quarter, which if I heard correctly, they're about 67 points given up in the fourth quarter this season, which is a lot. That means you're not closing games. So, but I think I'll take the Browns to slightly win this game. It should be a low-scoring game.
MJ?
I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Ravens only because of what Jerm said about Jacoby Brissett. This team is like real close to being deadly because their style of play is conducive to what Deshaun Watson brings to the table. Now, if Deshaun Watson is under center, then it makes sense why you don't run the ball as much. Because you got a guy that can make you cover every blade of grass, who can throw darts everywhere along the field. And the pass can set up the run and vice versa. And now you have a balanced breakfast. As of right now, there is no balanced breakfast. You're missing the protein because the quarterback cannot deliver where he needs to deliver.
Right.
So with that, because of that reason, Ravens are who they are. We know good, bad, or ugly. This is what they are. I think they have enough to win it at home. I think the reason why I'm picking them really is because they're at home. And, you know, they got off the snide the last time on that losing streak at home. So I think they're going to go ahead and put it together. Browns, just hold on tight until Deshaun get back. He get back in a couple of weeks, right?
December 4th,
December
the star
4th.
is born.
December 4th. That's a beautiful
There you
day.
go.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
we don't know if they're gonna add 3 more. We don't know if they're gonna add 3 more games, John. Relax.
Hey, but check this out. But real
3
talk
more
though,
game suspension.
MJ's portion of the section is sponsored by Alkaline Water. Get the mucus out your system.
Hey, and while we're talking about that, this also sponsored by the holiday coming up, Halloween, aka the Thought Purge. This is the one Halloween. This is the one holiday that women can get to dress like thoughts in peace. So do not be
The
thirsty.
thought purge.
Let them
I
purge
love-
in peace.
We are coining that.
I
that's
love
what
it here.
I've
The
been calling it for
thought
about
purge.
years now. It's a thought purge.
I love that. I love it here.
Fellas,
Trying to go
drink
to
your
the
water,
purge.
drink your
I'm
juice.
drinking water because I'm trying to represent for the guys that are not thirsty. Don't be thirsty out there on the thought purge, bro. Don't.
I'm
fighting
gonna
over that.
just shut up. Ty, anything you want to add to the football aspect of this game?
Hey man, look, I'm gonna put it to you this way. Both of these teams are in a position to where they need a win. It's not so much as it's a bad win, but it's more for the talk, the conversation. Because if the Ravens lose this game, people's gonna side eye Lamar heavy. It's gonna be like, well, you want this fully guaranteed contract, but you ain't showing us much. So it's a must win for him. The Browns, like you said, you just need to stay afloat long enough to get Watson into the mix. So I'm going to go with the Browns. I'm going to go with the Browns just to be the one to give that Lamar talk a little bit more, because, you know, hey, look, I've been on the receiving end of that from my team.
Me personally, I'm picking Baltimore to win this game, man. I think Baltimore is due for a wild game on the ground. I think Lamar is due for a big game on the ground as well. I just think this is one of those games where Baltimore controls, Baltimore dominates, and Baltimore wins. I'm going 28-10 Baltimore. Next game on the schedule.
Pick Baltimore.
I surely did. I surely did. And so did MJ.
No, it's because Mo did is your name, so I'm going to
Mo did. Hey, man. Speaking of, the next game on the docket is the reason we got Trav with glasses on this morning. He said he's trying to reverse the juju that's happening in Tampa at the moment. I don't know, Trav. I think we need some Brazilian voodoo, to be honest with you, to turn this season around. Buccaneers at Panthers, over-under is 39.
He did
but
not.
Yet, the Panthers are 13-point underdogs. So Vegas, this is kind of a tricky bet if you betting on this game, because it's a low-scoring over/under, but it's a high line in terms of points. So we'll see what happens. For the Buccaneers, Cam Brate, Akeem Hicks, Sean Murphy-Bunting, and Quintoris Julio Jones are all out in this game. And then for the Panthers, obviously you got no Baker. So that means P.J. Walker is going to be the starting quarterback. You got no Christian McCaffrey no more. You got no head coach no more. The head coach, the head running back, and the head quarterback are not there anymore. So the Panthers are the real-life replacements at the moment. So this is going to be interesting. C.J. Henderson, he is out with a concussion, but he's also been struggling all year. So we'll see how that goes for him. The Bucs, I went to the game last week, as we talked about. They got a lot of problems, man. They got a lot of spacing problems. They got a lot of protection problems. They got a lot of separation problems. There's just a lot happening. And obviously, Tom hasn't really been as good as he needs to be. He's now, believe it or not, his release, his snap to throw is one of the fastest or lowest, however you're going to look at it, in his entire career. And that says a lot coming from New England to get to this team who for the last 2 years, he's holding on to the ball a little longer so he can get those chunk plays. But because the protection hasn't been there, after 22 years, his snap to throw is at the lowest it's been in quite some time. So is his QBR. So, I mean, it hasn't quite been a year for him. He only went over 300 yards twice, and one of those was when they were playing catch-up against the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. This is, again, trap game Sunday. This one is due for a trap game. And the Tampa needs to stay on top of it. They need to come out with quick throws, making them run sideline to sideline, which is a major key for a game we're going to talk about a little bit later. But get them going sideline to sideline, use your talent, use your stamina, and just wear them down and get out of there with a win because you got a couple tough games coming up. And this needs to be an easy, like 28-17 type win, something along those lines. So I'm going to go 24-14 Buccaneers. Vic?
Yeah, I mean, real quick, Robbie Anderson is also not there for the Panthers. So
yeah, he's going too.
You got some replacements there at receiver.
They're trying to get rid of Brian Burns now too.
Well, they got offered 2 first-round picks, and I think the value of him being young and a pass rusher, that I think he's a staple of that team. So I don't think he's going.
He better be. They better not get rid of him or Sam Darnold.
Right, unless you offer 4 first-round picks or something crazy.
Vic agreed. I said or Sam Darnold, and Vic said right. I said don't get rid of Brian Burns or Sam Darnold. You said right. We got it on record. We got it on record. We got it.
Mo did not just try to do that on this show this morning.
Yeah, Vic, I'm gonna let you finish.
Now, real quick, yeah. I mean, listen, Tom. To me, Mo still looks like a more than above average quarterback right now. There's still a lot of quickness to his releases. Still, anticipation is there. Reading the defense is still there. They're just not scoring. They're not putting points on the board. Like you said, the protection has not been good. Missing Ali Marpet at left guard. I mean, that's a big loss. That left side has been horrible. Okay. I know Trav can definitely speak about that a little bit more. He's never been a fan of the left tackle, and I agree with him. So, they got to get that run game going, bro. You're last in the league at 67, 66 yards per game, something like that for the run game. You're last in the league. So we got to get that started. You got to get that run game started so the offensive line could get comfortable and hopefully get comfortable in pass protection and help on some chunk plays.
Losing Marpet was a big deal, no doubt about it. And I blame some of that on Brady retiring because I think if Brady would have never, fake retired, I don't think Gronk would have retired, and I don't think Marpet would have been gone. Just my humble opinion. But the biggest loss for the Bucs is that nasty dude, man, Ryan Jensen. That's the biggest loss the Bucs have had to go through in the last 3 years because he is a tone setter. He is the leading guard, so to say. He holds down the fort in the trenches, and he's nasty. Trav, I know you could speak on it. You coming to you after MJ. MJ, talk about what you're looking for in this game.
I think Carolina is the first team to actually execute an enema in their organization. I've never seen nothing like this before. Like, this is an unclean organization. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. And I would have called this the Mucinex Bowl because there's a lot of mucus in Tampa's organization as well. I just think it's just a very filthy organization. I feel dirty just looking at this game. Like, just even talking about it, I feel dirty. And this is what I need for Tom Brady to do. I need for Tom Brady to talk to E.T. the hip-hop preacher. And I need for him to snap out of it. I know it's tough, but, if you look at every hero, they all have an origin story. And this could be your origin story of bounce back and just letting it know, like, yo, look, if I could do it, you can't do it. You could easily spin this into some type of documentary that will happen next year. But in order for you to do that, you're going to have to lock in. And you're going to have to lead with this tape by example. Yes, this is a trap game, but Panthers don't have any cheese to put on the trap. So give me the Buccaneers.
I like it. Trav, again, we talked about some of the pieces we lost. We talked about Ryan Jensen. And then you and I have talked extensively in the DCs about how this team just don't have the same energy that has been coming out with the last 2 seasons. So give me your thoughts on what you've been seeing and what you expect in this game.
It's a pop that we don't have going on right now. Todd Bowles said it correctly. We're still living off 2021. We can't do that no more. That's 2 years. That's just 2 years going by. And we still trying to live that persona. This is a whole different team in that. It was these 2 kids, man. One kid had all the toys he wanted. The other kid was in this room throwing shit against the wall. They went to the one kid like, oh, I'm bored. But you got all the toys. You got all the toys over here. But you went to the other room and they were like, why this little boy so happy? He said, I'm just happy because I love this shit. Tampa Bay got to get involved in playing this shit now.
Yeah.
Yes, Donovan Smith is a terrible left tackle. Whoever covered him, we're not doing it. The right side is okay. One thing Tampa got to do is stop doing that 31 dive play. Throw that play out.
Yeah. Yep.
Throw it out the
Couldn't
book.
agree with you more.
Because you don't have the running back to even get started like that because Fournette is tiptoeing to the line instead of running to the line. Second, our line is just not as powerful as they was 2 years ago. Throw that dive play out the book. I'd rather for them do that sweep play with Mike Evans or number 4 Godwin. That sweep play, get on the edge, get there first because they're going too far forward. And third of all, the defense just got to play better, but the defense can't play better if the offense stayed going 3 and out, 3 or 4 different possessions.
We got to score for them.
We got to score.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think I saw last week. It's a little unfair to say this, but the defense was a big disappointment last week because they couldn't get the ball back to the offense one more time.
Yeah.
Because they had them in a 3rd and 16 and in a 3rd and 11. And then Mitch Trubisky made 2 big-time throws, and Chase Claypool made a huge catch down the sideline there. And it was really like I had a great view of it. It looked like it had no chance, and then it just dropped in there. And he made a great catch. And to your point about the edges and the outside, where they found the most success in the run game, especially in short yardage situation, is they had a play where they'll bring Evans down, they'll motion him down, so essentially he'll become the inline tight end, and he's the one that's setting the edge or sealing the edge rather, and it's allowing some outside run plays to be successful. Go ahead, Vic.
No, and I mean, but that goes to show you the missing Gronkowski. You know
Right.
I mean? Like you mentioned,
Right.
Marpet, Jensen, Gronkowski, those are huge guys that they need for the run game.
Those are their 3 best run blockers.
The 3 best run blockers they
That
have.
young guy got to step it up. What's his name? Olsen?
Wirfs?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Cade Otton.
Otton has to step.
He looks like a little mini Gronk. He looks like a little mini Gronk. It seems like there's a lot of rapport with him and Brady. And then White, you know, he seems to have that same rapport that Kevin Falk and James White had with Brady. So I'll definitely look to continue to build there. But Trav, what's your score?
We probably I think we kind of break out. I say like 31 to 14, 31 17, something like that.
Got
I think we finally touch a 30 game today.
I hope so.
I mean, you came to me at 12:04.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Divine intervention. It's the Rock, baby. So anyway, the point of everything that I need to say, you guys have taken the thunder, Mo did, and I just want it to be understood, and I want the record to reflect that Tampa Bay is in a situation where they just need to whole serve. And you just want to whole serve. Why? Because you just need to get to the big dance, baby. That's all you got to do is get to the big dance. Take care of your division and get to the big dance and get healthy as the season goes on. Because that's when they need to break out. They need to break out later in the year. Too many times teams start off fast and they can't finish. I need the Bucs to take this slow start get healthy so they can finish. Because that's what this is going to be about. How good and how much do you guys want to finish this season? Health is wealth. But most importantly, defensively, the defensive backs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are some of the worst in football. I'm just gonna call it what it is.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
yeah. Oh yes, Mo. I
I
did.
don't quite agree with that.
I mean, you know, it's okay. But their defensive backs have been some of the worst in football. And that doesn't mean that the safety play has been atrocious by them. That means the defensive backs, as in the corners, they have a long way to go. We got to get better in certain situations. Situational awareness, understanding where the sticks are, all of those small things. These are the reasons why they're losing.
Carlton
That I agree with.
Davis. Carlton
That I agree
Davis.
with. No, that I
Like,
agree
you
with.
can't-
Especially
you cannot-
situational football.
Like it's 3rd and 16, bro. There is no excuses, no exceptions that you let Mitchell Trubisky. What? You let him get you twice. Then he
Yeah.
scooted on you around the corner. I just, you know, look,
And
certain
well,
things are just not acceptable. And that's
Mitchell
just those things are
Trubisky-
not acceptable.
Mitchell Trubisky is the new Eli Manning. Brady just cannot beat him.
I believe he's 2-0 against Brady, isn't he?
Yeah, he just
No,
can't.
he's not.
Brady can't
He's
beat
not 2-0. He's not 2-0. Brady beat him
I know.
Brady beat him.
Are
Brady
you
beat
sure?
Mitchell. Yes, because that's the game that Belichick had Mitch Trubisky in a certain situation, and
Yeah,
for
it's
whatever
rookie.
reason they ended up winning. I don't remember. Some weird.
Or 3-0. I think Mitch is like 3-0 against Brady, yo.
We'll
Check it.
We'll check it, but I don't
I'll
think
check
he's-
it right now. But to your point about the cornerbacks, the one pet peeve I have with them is I've noticed it a few times on comeback routes. The receivers coming back, they're not coming back.
Now come they
And
letting it-
that's yeah, they just
and
they
they
just let him
pushing
catching
them
it.
and they pushing them away from the first down. They pushing them away so far that when they turn around and come back to the rock, they at the first down. The cornerback is not knowing where he's at. And hey, man, Carlton Davis, man, y'all know how I am about dude, man. You
Yeah.
cannot be talking like that, talking that greasy, and giving those type of performances. You can't do that. You just can't do that.
Yeah, man, Dean.
Ty, go ahead, wrap up
You
before
need to
we
sell
move on to the next game.
Dean need to stick to selling sausage.
Wait, who are you taking? Jerm, who you taking?
Give me Tampa Bay. Pause. And as I said, Dean need to stick to selling Jimmy Dean sausage. Yes, I said it. Sick of it.
Ty, go ahead, wrap this segment up. Let's go move on to the next one.
MJ, I got something for you. Since you brought ET in, does the Bucks want it as bad as they want to breathe, or do they just
Hey.
want to let it go? Do they want to quit?
Hey,
Hey, I'm telling you, do they want it bad? Because, like you said, they got a stretch of games that's coming up that's going to be bad. So you got to stay ahead in the NFC, because if you don't, it gets bad. And it can go south real quick, because look at the Eagles. They on fire. And if you don't keep pace with them, man, before you know it, you're turned around, you're in last place. And you're
Right.
missing the playoffs.
Right.
Then you like Trav said, Carlton talked too much. Remind me of what's old boy's name, Finneran, that used to play for the Titans. Talk greasy
Cortland.
all the time, but stay talking greasy all the time, wanting to fight and wanting to start, because that's the only way he could get in and interrupt receivers. Carlton, you better get back up on your technique, because if you don't, I'm telling you, somebody gonna call you out and you ain't gonna like it.
Right.
Brady gonna Brady. This is all we know. He gonna come to play regardless.
Brady gone Brady.
I hate to see what the man is going through at home, because everybody know when the relationship ain't right at home, bro, you tiptoeing like, is it okay for me to come and grab something out the refrigerator? Is it okay if I do a little bit of extra work around the crib? Is it okay if I do a little bit of extra on the film watching today, baby?
Man.
I'm telling you right now, you don't want to be, because that man right now playing with stress and anger, because he ticked off. Like you said, he lost his best. What was Jensen, his tackle?
Center.
And see, look, when you lose that, bro, I'm a preacher on it. When Tua finally got Armstead, bruh, it changed the whole outcome. So when you lose that type of a player, bruh, it goes hard. And then you ain't got no safe throw with Big Gronk, bruh. Brady got to do it all for that offense right now, him and Mike Evans. Because
Yeah.
Godwin hasn't been the Godwin that we were hoping him to be.
Godwin, believe it or not, Godwin, I believe, has the most catches the last
He
2
still got the
weeks,
most.
But it's like when I left the game, I said, man, Godwin barely touched the ball. And then I looked, he had 9 touches. I'm like, what?
Well, it's not that he's not touching it, it's that, he like,
You're
an alcoholic that's not at the liquor store. He don't got the yak. He needs the yak.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
facts. That's a fact.
Tyreek said it best. I like getting drunk off that yak. Give me that yak, baby. Because that's what we need.
Next game on the docket, you got the Atlanta Falcons. Wait, Ty, who you going with?
Give me the Bucks. I want to see them get back in rhythm.
Got you. Next game, you got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Over under is 47.5. Bengals are 6.5-point favorites. Joe Burrow is arguably coming off his best game of the season last week. I would like to see them keep that going. I'd like to see them keep building their momentum. I would like to see a little more usage out of their running backs, particularly with Joe Mixon. This not as much as the Bills use Josh Allen, but I would like to see a little more usage out of those running backs. And I think the one thing that's going to favor the Bengals real well today is Joe Burrow should have plenty of time to throw that rock and survey the field and all that. So I'm going with the Bengals with a big game. Mariota, got to give him a lot of credit. He's playing with a terrible offensive line, but he's playing really good football, and he is a big reason why they have been competitive. No Cordero Patterson, which is a bummer, but they also got to get Kyle Pitts a little more involved. I think he's only had, I don't know what his stats are for the season. I just know he's been very much underutilized this season as well. So I look for a competitive game. I'm going to let you go, Jeremy. I'm going to look for a competitive game, but I do think the Bengals should handle this one in flying colors. I'm going Bengals 31-17. Go ahead, Jeremy.
They've been using Kyle a little bit more this year in situations where they're using him as the decoy in some of these route concepts and some of these things like that, just to make sure that they can get other players open. And there's a big thing for the Falcons is they're the number 1 team in the league on third down. That's a huge component to them being in third and manageables because they're doing the right thing on offense and running the ball in certain situations and at least trying to always get positive yards. If you stay ahead of the sticks can't beat you. But if you stay behind the sticks will beat you. There's a difference. So what moving forward they have to do is they have to continue to keep that continuity for them. You're the Bengals. Bro, I don't know what to say about the Bengals just yet. I need a couple more weeks because every time I'm ready to give the Bengals some credit for something, they go out and have a game like they had against the Saints last week in which you just don't know what you're going to get. And it's just like it takes a heroic performance just in order for us to get some of these games out of the Bengals. And we shouldn't be at this stage now because this team is so much better than how they played. Give me the Bengals today. I'm just interested to see how it all plays out. But let me get the Bengals today. Let me get them by a score. Let me get 37-24.
So, MJ, before I toss it to you, Vic, whichever one want to take it first, Big Shot in the comment section said, Falcons got an identity. They're going to run the ball 40 times and play defense. They're young. They got growing pains, but I like them. That's a quote from Big Shot. And
that's what he moved to Atlanta.
Yes, yeah, maybe. That's my baby little home cooking. But
too
to his point, too much lemon.
Hey, they just told him how to bank their bounce now.
To his point, though, that defense has been overperforming, if that's the thing. And their corners, they got 4 or 5. They go 4 or 5 deep with their cornerback play. Both Casey Hayward and A.J. Terrell, who left last week's game, are playing this week. So that's, again, I'm going 31-17 Bengals, but this is a trap game.
Hey,
ahead, MJ.
Before you go, MJ, I just hope Terrell don't have a flashback from 2019. That's
LSU.
all I'm gonna say about that. Yes.
Oh man, I know Ty was gonna appreciate that one. Oh man.
All right, y'all know I'm good for one good rant on the show. Here is my rant, and hopefully this can motivate. Let me put my coach MJ hat on. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Cincinnati, if I'm you guys have never won a Super Bowl, but you've made it to the Super Bowl twice. At some point, you have to change your paradigm and your mentality and understanding that good enough is not good enough. Ooh. It's almost like they went into this year thinking that they already won it because they made it last year. Because they got the components and the ingredients, it's almost like they forgot they still have to show up and be men on Sundays. And that bothers me because it's like everything is about mentality. Everything is about, how you think. Like one thing that I told my team actually a couple of days ago, I told them, you guys are not the underdogs. Get that out of your head. You have access to gyms. You have access to probably some of the best trainers in the world. Get it done. There is no excuse. Facts. I don't care where you're located at. I don't care what your history says. If we're talking about right now, Cincinnati, there's no way in hell you should have the same record as the Atlanta Falcons. No way. It's time to get your head out your ass and be what we expect you to be. Give me the Bengals.
Vic?
Yeah, real quick, I don't know, is Casey Hayward playing for real? Because last thing I heard, he was on the injured reserve, but
is that what it is? Because I didn't see him on. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, he's on the IR. You're right. He's on the IR. Good point.
They what's great about the Falcons this year, this is a 3-3 football team, which is surprising. Because that's the record of a lot of these other elite teams like the Bengals, that we're supposed to consider elite. So they're keeping up with these teams right now. And like, you guys alluded to, that run game has been fantastic. They're using their own read scheme. And these running backs are basically making decisions on their own. They're reading where the holes are. They're reading where the defenses are, where the linebackers are filling in holes, and they're avoiding them. And they have a great stable of running backs doing that right now, which is fantastic. So, again, running the ball 35, 40 times, like Ronnie alluded to, and then winning time of possession has been winning them, a lot of games. So the Bengals are going to have to score, and they're going to have to score quickly. You know what I mean? So that if the Falcons take advantage of the time of possession, take advantage of being able to beat that run game, they can slow that offense down and keep them off the field. So, the Bengals have to score every possession that they get. And I think they'll be able to do that with a secondary that is hobbling. I don't know if you said AJ Terrell is available.
Yes, he is.
There is injuries concerns there. So the Bengals got to score, man, and they got to show why, they were a Super Bowl team last year. I
completely agree with that. And like you said, like MJ said, they got to start showing us that they are that team from last year and keep building on that team from last year. Ty, anything you want to talk about in this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw y'all a couple of dimes real quick, and also to add to MJ with something, basically saying that the Bengals has all the ingredients in order to come together and something. I've talked to y'all before about this, but there's a high school team in West Virginia called Martinsburg High School. In the last 17 years, they've won 14 state championships in football, and they have not put anything back, including winning last year when they took an L. They took an L to a team that they shouldn't have lost to, but because they're so used to being that dominant team, they've been there before, they're just basically like, we're going to run through everything. Where they got beat by a team that they shouldn't beat. So the team that remained undefeated, called Huntington High School, that ended up going to the state championship to play them, talked so much trash. When they got to the state title, Martinsburg reminded them of why they've won 14 state championships in the past 17 years, and they beat them 65-21 with no problem. The Bengals are a team that should dominate pretty much on paper any team that they go up against, because they have two running backs in Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon. I've seen them play in person, and those two running backs can literally win you a game single-handedly with 30 touches combined between the two, because there's really nothing you can do when you're getting manhandled by offensive linemen, and when you're getting beat by that, your quarterback can just coast and have a fun game. But if you don't use your identity, which is to be physical, and then let your receivers win the one-on-one matchups, Higgins and Chase should eat all day with no problem. When your running backs you don't even really have to worry about your defense, because once you've exhausted a team's defense and the run game is going forward, like y'all said, February is what decides the championships when you got a run game. If you don't got one, it doesn't work. The Bengals have it, but like you said, they lost up against the New Orleans for what reason? What happened? This shouldn't happen. Give me the Bengals 28. Give me the Bengals in a 28-17 style type of a game.
I dig it. Is Jerm on here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, anything you want to add to this one, bro?
Here's the thing.
There you go.
No.
Say it, Big Dog. Go ahead.
Just give me a tie. Damn it. I don't got nothing. Give me a tie.
A
Give me a tie.
tie?
Yeah.
He said a tie.
Oh,
Disrespectful.
my God.
Disrespectful.
The next game on the docket, you got the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. Big news, obviously, being that Dak is back. And I think, again, like we talked about, stick to that identity. The Lions, they got the worst defense in the league across the board. So if any, this is a perfect welcome back. Here's who we are. Let's show the league who we are. And with who we are, we can put up points. Can we rely on the Cowboys to do the right thing? No. I don't know. I'm going with the Cowboys. They should win this game 31-10. Give me the Cowboys. No DeAndre Swift, but Josh Reynolds. No DJ Chark either, but Josh Reynolds is playing. Good.
Yeah, this is okay. My bad.
No, you go. Take it.
Yeah, take it.
This is still an unhealthy Detroit Lions team. Again, young, solid, well-coached team, but they are going through some injuries. The Dallas Cowboys should be able to take care of their business here. Dak is getting back. He's going to be rusty. So, again, we talked about it for the last however many weeks. They need to stick to the game plan, period. Short passes, intermediate passes. Let Zeke and Pollard take over the football game for you, okay? Ezekiel Elliott last week, 13 carries, 81 yards. Looking spliffy to me. Everybody can't wait for his downfall. Everybody wants him to crash and burn. But open up some names for him, and what happens? Let me get Zeke with 20 carries today, please.
Okay, Jerm.
Dallas should win this game easily today. It's really not really much to say, but it would be nice to get an entertaining 34-31 game. So give me Dallas.
Hey, listen, Goff hasn't been playing too bad. MJ?
Y'all know they ain't going to act right. Dak is going to throw the ball 47 times. Y'all know this. Look, I get it. Y'all want to see the right thing. But Dallas is a toxic organization. They're toxic.
Hey, you ain't lying.
And when you have a toxic organization, expect toxic behavior.
Unbelievable.
You're not lying.
It just is what it is. Give me Dallas to win, but they only going to score 20 points. And it's going to be quarterback controversy again because they're going to have him throw 47 times to nobody because he has no rhythm, no chemistry yet. And Zeke is going to touch the ball approximately 7 times for 22 yards. That's what's going to happen. I'm sorry.
Hey,
and the defense is going to get a pick 6, and that's how they're going to score.
That's why I had to break up with that hoe 4 years ago.
Man.
Oh my God,
man!
Vic for the win.
We finna get counseling. We finna get counseling.
What you got? Who you taking this one?
I'm feeling really Stephen A-ish right now because Dallas has a habit of just Dallasing. No matter what, you expect them to do great and to do great things, and they should. But they just find a way to be Dallas, and I don't know why. What's going on? Dallas, don't let me down. Give me a 28-10 win. Come on, Dallas, just one time.
We all believe in you, Dallas. I think Next game on the docket, you got the New York Football Giants, the 5-1 New York Football Giants. There is rumblings that Brian Daboll should be coach of the year. I don't really see anybody else in the runnings at the moment. He's doing a phenomenal job with this team. They are playing very good and sound fundamental football in all three phases of the game against Jacksonville. Again, there's a potential for a trap game in this one.
Yeah.
Mainly, there is. But what I'm going to look for to see, and this is where Brian Daboll might continue to cement himself as a coach of the year. If early in this game, Saquon is unable to find holes, and if the offensive line is unable to create those holes, and you're not, because the Jaguars' run defense is exceptionally well. They play exceptionally good run defense over there in Jacksonville. So if the run game for the Giants is not off to a good, healthy start, I'm going to look to see the Giants using a lot of Saquon Barkley out the backfield and getting that defense running sideline to sideline for 60 minutes and opening some things up. From a chess match perspective, this actually is a tough matchup for the New York Giants. So it's going to be interesting to see how well Daniel Jones plays, and it's going to be interesting to see how well that offensive line performs overall through the course of the 60 minutes and how that coaching staff adjusts. I'm going with the Giants with a potential trap game with a score of 23-20. The over-under is 43.5, and the Giants are +3. If I go make a bet on DraftKings, I am inclined to say Jacksonville. Wait, the Giants are the underdogs.
No, really?
Vegas. The Giants are 3-point underdogs. Vegas is the trap game. It's a trap game. Go ahead, MJ.
You know what? I just had an epiphany while you was talking. I was thinking about the game of basketball. I was thinking about shooting pool. I was thinking about golfing. I was thinking about baseball and NFL and I was even thinking about procreation. Life is about finding the hole.
Okay.
Good night, y'all.
I mean, I got to pause on that because it's like,
Yo, a black Republican for a reason, eh?
We all that's the goal.
Just find the hole.
You play to win the game.
Just find the hole.
Amen. Amen.
Everybody, what I want y'all to do for that, I want y'all to just dig a hole and then walk away and then find it. Just train yourself in finding the hole. With that being said, Saquon will find the hole a lot, and that's why I'm picking the New York Giants.
We gotta get banned.
Shout out to Nightlights. Go ahead, Jerm.
Give me the G-Man. I'm not entertaining this stuff.
Vic.
I mean, listen, I think it could be a trap game as well. As I looked through the schedule, this was a game I picked as a possible trap game. The Giants have been playing very well, but like you said, Jacksonville can definitely they've done well against the run. So if they can able to control or contain Saquon, their run game offensively as well has been great. Travis Etienne and James Robinson, great 1-2 duo. So I think it's going to be a matchup between two run games to see who wins that out. And I think whoever wins that out wins this game. I'm going to pick Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville will win this game.
I like it. I honestly want to go with Jacksonville. I really do. I might before the show ends. Ty, who you picking?
Let's go with the G-Men. Let Saquon eat. It's a trap, like you said, it's a trap game. Easy to lose. We know it's October, but just feed what you got.
Yeah. Next game on the docket, you got the Colts versus the Titans. Listen, again, this is a me with my rule with teams that tie, but I'm not saying Indy is the exception. No doubt, don't get it twisted by any means. But what I am saying is Indy has not been playing bad football, and Matt Ryan looks like he's tired of Trav talking about him. That's really what's happening because he hasn't been playing too bad. He had 58 pass attempts and 300+ yards last week. The last time they played the Titans, I think he threw for 350-something yards. So he's not playing too bad. He's utilizing those. They got some talented young receivers, and he's utilizing them very well. They got a strong run game. That offensive line is still performing really well. Indy is trending one way. Meanwhile, Tennessee, we praised Mike Vrabel over the years, but we kept one caveat in mind. They got a very jockish culture. That is a high school football team in Tennessee with just grown men on it. And eventually, if they didn't reach success, eventually it was going to fold and it was going to break and it was going to shatter. And I think you're starting to see that because Ryan Tannehill can only go as far as Ryan Tannehill knows to go. I am going with Trav and Matt Ryan today. Give me the Colts. Yeah, I'm going with Trav and Matt Ryan. Give me the Colts by 5. Go ahead, MJ.
I'm going to go ahead and pick the Titans for no reason at all. Like, there's something about this NFC South, this AFC South that just doesn't sit well with me. I don't like nothing about it. I think they should be relegated. For real, they need to get relegated to the SEC. All 4 of them.
All 4 of them.
There I said.
All 4 of them. Bring up Jackson
all
State.
All 4 of them. Everyone. So give me the Titans, and I don't like it.
Okay, Germ, we're gonna stop your video. Bro, wake up, bro.
I'm not asleep.
Are you sure?
Germ is not sleep.
Kick him out the classroom. Who you got in this one?
See, honestly, this game right here is really, really intriguing to me for 2 reasons, though. Just to let you know that I was not asleep. The very beautiful part about this is Matt Ryan has played some pretty solid football this year in the regard of converting on 3rd down. 3rd down conversions and in the red zone, he's actually been a little bit better. But I think it's in part of the fact that he's been able to utilize his tight ends a lot better. And that is the most important part here. Mo Alley-Cox and that new rookie that they have are 2 very, very big mismatches in this game. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Tennessee is going to be able to utilize players like Elijah Molden that they've brought in previous drafts and stuff like that against these guys. Because when they start running some of those smash concepts and different things like that, I think what people have to understand is that is a very hard combination of 2 tight ends to have to contain, especially in short yardage, especially in red zone situations. So I'm interested to see how some of the X's and O's of those things play out. And also, I got to make sure I say this. I'm very interested to see if they can put this whole offense together in Indianapolis, because that means when Jonathan Taylor is fully healthy and we get Matt Ryan playing like this, that will make them a balanced breakfast. And that ultimately may be the type of thing that may get them, the Colts, to be a team that can run late into the season and maybe get into the postseason and maybe make some noise. So arguably, this might be Matt Ryan's best chance, honestly, y'all, since 2016 at roster-wise to make a playoff push, to make a run in the playoffs. So let's just see what happens. No disrespect to no one to their foe today. I just think Indianapolis has everything that they need today to make this a very, very, very tough matchup. Give me Indy today.
Okay.
I'm definitely taking Indy. Trav, anything you want to jump on this one?
Real quick before we pass it, Trav. I think Tennessee, and I said this again a couple of weeks ago, I think Vrabel is on the proverbial head coaching hot seat, not because he's a bad coach or he's doing something wrong, but maybe it's time to change the message in that locker room.
Could be. Trav?
Yes. Every game I have seen from the Colts and the Titans is one person that they cannot stop. He gets 2 or 3 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
Until the Colts stop King Henry, I'm not picking them. I'm not picking the Colts over that. The hell with Matt Ryan and Boston College and all they stand for. I can care less.
So Boston catches strays now?
Boston College catch strays too. Luke Kuechly does too.
What?
I mean, at the end of the day, they cannot stop King Henry. No matter what they done, they cannot stop him. This man he done averaged 2 touchdowns every time they played against him. So give me Tennessee for the win on this one.
Vic?
Yeah, I mean, my concern for the Colts is, are they going to be able to stop this pass rush? You know, one thing the Titans do well is rush the passer. And Matt Ryan, I mean, the statue that he is not very good against the rush, and he's not very good against the blitz. He has a clean pocket. He's fantastic. We've seen that throughout his career. Like Jerm said, third downs, excellent. Between the 20s, excellent. But when he gets to the red zone, that's when you're gonna kind of have to lean off of him a little bit, get that run game to be, the take the lead on scoring and stuff like that. So I think that's my concerns because of that, and because of Derrick Henry, like Trav alluded to. I think the Titans do win this game. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be better than anticipated. But I think the Titans win this game by a short margin.
Just so you know, Vic, the real issue that I have with the Titans is I think that they're with them missing Harold Landry. I think that's a big loss.
Well, they got a couple
Harold
guys.
Landry.
Yeah.
Well, remember they got Bud Dupree. They got Bud Dupree last year, but Harold Landry was the big catalyst. And y'all know how much I love Jeffrey Simmons. But man, I just think, man, Harold Landry tore his ACL week 2. And I think that's one big thing there in itself. But that secondary, man, they're just on the field too long. They're just in bad situations.
You got Rashard
like
Weaver.
I said, man, I think it's just time to switch it up.
Yeah, you got Rashard Weaver. You got Danico Autry with 4 sacks. You got Jeffrey Simmons, who we always talk about, one of the best defensive tackles we scouted, 3.5 sacks. So they're putting pressure. You know what I mean? They got to help that secondary, like you said, though.
No doubt.
So the offensive line for the Colts hasn't been as dominant as we used to, but we'll see. It's gonna be a good matchup.
Next game, we're gonna go fast. These next 4, we got the Packers at the Commanders. Over under in this game. Well, sorry, the Packers are 4.5-point favorites actually. Randall Cobb is out, and David Bakhtiari is out, and for the Commanders, Carson Wentz is going to be out for a few weeks. Should be an easy win for the Packers. They might have to grind it out some, but it should be an easy win overall. Give me 23-10 Green Bay. MJ?
Give me the Packers, and also I call this the worst color scheme bowl because this color scheme next to each other is like watching throw up. But
yeah,
give me the Packers.
Yeah, this is not going to be an aesthetically pleasing football game. Ty?
No.
Man, this is just gonna be one of them games where you just kind of skim through it and say, all right, something on. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, Vic?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take the Packers too. They just lost to the Jets at home. I would like to pick FC Washington, but they're just not good enough. They're not good enough. So I'm taking the Packers.
Jerm?
Call me Pac-Man. Ghost is blue.
And Trav, I know you're taking the Packers as well in this one. Next game on the docket, you got Jets at the Broncos. No Russell Wilson. No Mr. Unlimited, even though he's been quite limited this year. The Jets, we upgraded, man. No more Spirit Airlines for the Jets. They playing some real solid football. I'm going to go to Jets by 10. Over under is 36.5. So give me the Jets 24-14. Matter of fact, 24-3 Jets. That's my score. 24-3 Jets. Vic?
I mean, I think the key is going to be that run game. Again, Breece Hall, possible rookie of the year, has been fantastic.
Possible, yes.
Michael Carter complimenting him. So if they don't get that started, if they don't get control, it's going to be a long day because Zach Wilson against his secondary, I'm not exactly fond of it. The receivers, him and the receivers have not exactly been in cohesion. And that's huge considering some of the wins they've had. But I'm going to go with the Broncos, man, simply because that defense, I think, is going to kind of slow down the Jets' offense and let them at least score some points, even without Russ. I know Jerm's got a lot to say about that, but Jets are 4-2, man. If they lose today, still a successful season so far, and I still think they have a lot of promise.
Facts. Jerm?
Give me the Jets. Jets over everything, baby. Let's go. Jets. Jets.
Ty?
You can't see it right now, but I'm kind of flipping the bird to the Jets. Just out of pure hate. It is what it is. What it is. But go ahead and give me the Broncos just because out of rivalry. Yeah,
I hear you.
Them Jets,
I
man.
hear you. I hear you. I can appreciate that. MJ.
For whatever reason, I call it the addition by subtraction theory. Every time a quarterback, especially a quarterback that's struggling, goes down, for whatever reason, the team always seems to play way better with their backup quarterback. And I think the Broncos is going to do it, and there's going to be some light quarterback controversy over in Denver.
I dig it.
So I think give me the Broncos to score about 27 points. But the way they're going to score them is not going to be because of their quarterback. It's going to be the defense going to probably get a pick six. The running back going to probably run the ball about 2 or 3 times into the end zone. You may get a dink and dunk or something like that. Probably a trick play. It's going to be real fluky how they get to 27. But delusional fans is going to look at this like, see, we better without Russ. No, you're not.
You're not. I hope that happens. Trav.
I'm a Sauce Gardner fan.
I
called it last week.
Ain't free.
I called it last week, and he came through for me. Give me Sauce Gardner and the Jets, man. Sauce Gardner.
Those of y'all that don't know, tell them that the sauce ain't free. Shout out to the homie Ranks Jabbing, coming out with all kind of new stuff, doing his thing, doing real well. Shout out to the homie. Next game on the docket, you got the Houston Texans versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Over/under is 46. Texans 7-point underdogs. Give me the Raiders by 13. I could care less what happens in this game. Round the horn, Raiders. Nod your head if yes.
Sure.
Nod your head if yes. Anybody want to say something about this game?
No.
Okay. Next game, somewhat of an intriguing game here. You got the Seahawks versus the Rams. 50 flat is the over/under. They got this the Chargers. Sorry, this is the Chargers. Chargers versus the Seahawks. 5-point favorites are the Chargers. I think this is going to be a very competitive game. Keenan Allen should be back in this game. Pete Carroll has this team playing real good football in all 3 phases. Probably the best football they played in the last 5 years. They've been playing it this year. Shout out to Geno Smith. I know Ty is very fond of Geno Smith. He's been playing very good football. I think it's going to be a competitive game. But in the end, I just have a feeling the better quarterback is going to matter more than the better coach in this game. Give me Chargers 33-27. Ty?
Geno. Let that man eat. And one of my favorite receivers that I told y'all when he was coming out of Kansas State, the man just gets open. He's like 7-Eleven. The man never closes. No matter what, he's open. Defenses can't figure out a way to lock it to docket. Give me the Seahawks in a close one, 31-28. Just a close one. I love it. Give it to me.
I like it. I might change my pick after that, Ty. Vic?
I mean, listen, this is one of these games, man. You got the Chargers on the 3-game win streak, okay, 4-2, where you would think that talent, that quarterback should be at. But this is a tough matchup right here with the Seahawks. I don't know, man. The way the Chargers sometimes just crash and burn after doing something well is tough. But I think they pull this one off. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. But I'm not exactly excited with this pick because the Seahawks are playing fantastic football.
I dig it. MJ?
When are we going to start holding that Chargers coach accountable for going for it all the goddamn time?
Man.
When? We just going to let this keep going? This man is literally playing NFL like he playing Madden. 4th and 12, we're going to go for it. What?
No, but for real, though.
Why? You got Khalil Mack. Pin them down so you can get a safety or play the field position game just once or twice. Just humorous. Once or twice. Let's just see it happen. Because I can't trust you until you start just making sometimes some reasonable decisions. So give me the Seahawks because I think Pete Carroll's gonna coach circles around that boy.
I'm digging it. Germ?
The Chargers are the biggest Jekyll and Hyde to be that talented of a roster. that I've ever seen. Like, they have everything that you could possibly want. They got the corners, they got a safety, they got pass rushers, they got everything and then some, but they just can't seem to be consistent. I think a part of this is gonna be about football maturity. Guess who I'm gonna pick? I don't think the Chargers head coach can buy drinks yet. And I think that's what the problem. Because he needs a drink. He needs some milk. I'm over it. Give me the Chargers. But yeah.
I like it. I dig it. I'm more than dig it. I'm going with the Chargers too, but I am very skeptical of that. Next game on the docket. This is a heavyweight fight. You got the Kansas City Chiefs at the San Francisco 49ers at Christian McCaffrey's San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey was traded earlier this week. The Panthers got a second, third, fourth, and fifth round pick, which according to that chart equates to a first round pick. Obviously, the Panthers are going to use all those picks as ammo, as assets, draft capital to try to move up in some of these drafts and probably next year's draft, try to get a quarterback. For the 49ers, what they're saying is, yo, we feel like this is our missing piece. And I understand why they feel that way, because with the quarterback that they have and the offense that they run, with Debo and Christian McCaffrey now on the same field, this is going to be a very interesting, very dynamic pairing, and it's going to be very fascinating to see how defenses prepare for them, how they match up against them, and how they ultimately execute versus what seems to be a bit of a matchup nightmare. So this is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to just open it up real quick. Vic, I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the matchups is going to be like, what can that defensive line do against Pat Mahomes and that offensive line? Even though the 49ers defense, some injury concerns there, Pat Mahomes has been better under pressure as his career has gone along. I'm proud of him for that. Whenever he has to go left, he still has, some questionable decision-making and stuff like that. But, give me the Chiefs. I just think it's still a better football team than the 49ers.
I dig it. Germ?
So here's the problem. Y'all remember when Curtis Samuel and Christian McCaffrey were on the same team with the Panthers? And I said this could either be a really good thing or it could be a really bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like the same thing all over again with him and Debo. I just don't know. I don't know if I trust Jimmy G with two weapons that are this similar. I just don't know how to, I don't know how to react. I think what they needed was more of a pure running back than they needed a guy who's more of a
lost you a little bit there, Germ. Yeah,
I just don't think that the you say it again.
We lost you for a little bit, but we got you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, I just think that versatility that everybody's trying to preach right now, I just think it's still kind of limited because it's still only but so much that we can do with Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel's on the field at the same time. And then we got all these other jokers and chess pieces that we use, like Juszczyk, like Ayuk, like George Kittles. So it still limits your packages. The only thing that this does is it just gives you the ability for you to have like a Tom Brady in 2014 type of, not 2014, but a Tom Brady in like a 2012 type of look where you can stay in basically, what is that, a 12 personnel and work it down the field and utilize mismatches with your receivers, with McCaffrey, with Juszczyk, and with Kittle. So I think that may be a good thing for it, but I don't know if Shanahan is going to use it that way. I think he's going to try to use him like a toy, and I think that is going to be the ultimate demise of this move and make this not worth it for the 49ers.
Yeah.
Because if you look at their running style, it's not saying that he won't be successful. It's saying that they like more downhill, get to the point type of runners. Christian McCaffrey isn't that type of runner.
Well, We're losing you
He's
again,
a very
Jerks. I don't know.
talented runner, but he's not style of
Mhm.
play.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, you good. No, I mean we got you for the most part. And again, that's a very interesting because it could very easily go the way you're saying it would go. But in my humble opinion, I think if anybody can figure it out, it's Kyle Shanahan. And if Tom Brady gets a divorce, well, we know where he's going to finish his career next year. Vic.
Already went, bro.
Oh, my bad. I mean MJ.
All right. I'm taking the Chiefs, but this move, I wholeheartedly agree with Germ on this one. The game is about balance, and we're still all trying to figure out ways to be able to, reinvent the wheel when all you gotta do is just throw a rim on it. So,
but MJ, don't it feel like it just feel like
Bars.
they're making this into a Rubik's cube? Like,
yeah,
bro, what are we doing?
it's like they're trying to make the wheel square.
Yeah.
It's like you're not gonna go nowhere. It's the reason why it's a circle. Cavemen tried the square already. It didn't work. So let's get back
I'm
to the
taking
basics.
Kansas City, by the way, y'all too. But I just
got you.
And
I just
it's
couldn't-
funny. You know what I'm waiting on though? I'm waiting for that week when everybody is starting Christian McCaffrey or they're starting Debo and everybody expected to get a rushing touchdown and then Kyle Juice to get it. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
It's just
Hey,
got written
it might
all
be
over.
this week.
I
It might be
can't
this
wait.
week, MJ. It might be this week.
It
'Cause
might
It
be
this
today.
week.
It might be.
It might
today.
be.
Or
It's
I-
gonna
it
be
might
a
be.
situation
sneak.
or two where they're gonna be near that goal line, and
Yeah.
everybody is gonna they're gonna take the motion because you know how Shanahan loves that motion, or he loves that little pitch you check with a nice little fullback dive.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Trav, who you taking in this one?
I'm gonna take Kansas City, but this is the thing. This is if you could use a little Sean Payton in San Francisco. I want to try to because the thing is with Christian McCaffrey, I would have him instead of trying to go down here with the runs, have him match up with those linebackers.
Oh, no doubt.
Have
Oh,
him
no
line
doubt.
up with the linebacker. That's how they did with Reggie Bush when Sean Payton was there. You had number 23 running the ball most of the time. But when you have a dynamic player as in a Christian McCaffrey that can receive and run the ball, especially line them up against any linebacker, he gonna juice them to death. He gonna kill them.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. I think Kyle is going to utilize Christian McCaffrey in a very efficient way. Trav, who you taking?
I'm taking Kansas City. I'm still
Ty?
taking Kansas City.
Hey, man, quick question. Does San Francisco 49ers have an offensive coordinator that was a running genius and a scheming nightmare specialist named Mike McDaniels? Oh, no. He's thanks, San Francisco. He's in Miami. Trying to figure that out. When you got too many toys and you don't know what to do with them or how to feed them, that's the problem with the 49ers. Like you said, Jimmy G, I can't say that this one would be a fault on him because you can only ask him to do so much. But then Kyle Shanahan, you're really going to have to figure out what to do. Like Jerm said, you got two toys to play with. What you going to do with it? Because we know what the defense going to do. The 49ers has given what's her boy named Pat Mahomes troubles. What was it last year that they caused them to have a second half meltdown by simply just keeping him directly in front of him? So
They haven't played him since the Super Bowl, bro.
No, was it the Super Bowl? Yeah, it was the Super
think
Bowl.
so.
All right, because I know it was one of them. They ended up causing him to have a big time major problem. What was going on, and forced him into a lot of bad throws and a lot of stuff that I've always had a problem with Pat doing, which is we know he can do anything. He can escape. He can spin around. He can throw a football 70 yards downfield, just a flick of the wrist. But the problem is when you're going up against a defense like the San Francisco 49ers that don't miss tackles, you can really put your team in a bad situation to lose the game. And the thing is, if the 49ers just stick to playing straight football, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
real quick, for me, I think it's a good pickup in a sense where they're gonna just take pressure off of Debo, and some of the run plays that they use against him, for him and stuff like that. I think it could be a good pickup for them. Regardless, he's still gonna run the ball 15 to 20 times, from a pure running scheme standpoint. And then, so again, it'll take some pressure off of Debo of having to be in the backfield, and kind of still do his on short and intermediate routes.
Right. So Vic, who you picking?
I'm taking the Chiefs. I think it's just a better team right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well because I think San Fran is gonna take a little bit to figure out. Ty, who you picking?
Let's go. Let's just go with the Chiefs just for the safe pick.
Yeah.
Just go with the Chiefs with the safe pick.
So next game on the docket, we got the main event tonight. Although this is the main event, I think tonight's game is gonna be rather interesting. I'm gonna say my piece real quick. I think for the Dolphins, with Tua being back, they're gonna look to pick up where he left off. But honestly speaking, man, I love what I saw from Pittsburgh last week. They got a lot. They got a lot of optimism and good reason for optimism in Pittsburgh. I think there's a lot of very young players that make up the nucleus now of this football team, and you want to keep building on that. And if you think Mike Tomlin needs to not be the one to take this team back to that promised land, you are surely mistaken. I am telling y'all right now that I think Mike Tomlin will win another Super Bowl as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers within the next 7 years. Mark the tape. Watch it. It's going to happen. Maybe the next 3 or 4 years. But Mike T is going to get this team back to that promised land. So I'm going with the Dolphins tonight. But it's going to be a very good game. Give me 20-19 Miami. MJ?
Let me go ahead and go with the Dolphins because Tua and Tyree Hill is just a disgusting connection. And I don't think that the Steelers going to be able to do anything with that speed. So go ahead and give me the Dolphins.
Vic?
I mean, listen, the Dolphins receivers have still been able to put on a show without Tua. So with or without Tua, this this receiving core is going to be fantastic. I think they give the Steelers a lot of problems, especially with the horizontal routes. Just again, Tua, learn how to protect your body, please. Go down when you need to go down. Do not. You're a small, tight-framed, pause type of player. Please, when they go to slam you, just protect your body. Hold that football tight. Hold your body. Do not do the flopping, nothing like that, where your head could get the whiplash. Protect yourself and don't throw the ball deep. Just let that, those horizontal routes work for you, and you can have a really, really good passing game and passing career. That some of us have doubted. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
I like it. Trav, real quick, and then we're gonna let Todd finish it up.
Give me the Dolphins, man. Give me the Dolphins.
Okay.
On this.
I dig it. Todd, the floor is yours before we wrap up the show.
It's time to drink a little bit. I'm trying to get off a little bit drunk off that yak, Sometimes you just gotta get and take a couple of sips, man, when the world is just full of different things, man. Y'all know how I love it out here. Man, my boy Tua T is back, man. And one thing I was watching earlier, there's a podcast called Pivot. Everybody watch it every now and then when you're bored. You're sitting there. They interviewed Raheem Mostert the other day, and one thing that I've been trying to be adamant about with Tua that a lot of people mistake that he doesn't do. Raheem Mostert said something that really stuck out to Ryan Clark. And remember, Jern pointed this out a long time ago with Ryan Clark. While Troy Polamalu was the athletic freak of that Steelers defense, Ryan Clark was the glue. He was the one that's saying, hey, you need to be here, you need to be here, you need to be there. Stay right there, don't do this. He's going to be doing this. He covered everything on the back end.
Facts.
Ryan Clark said when he talked to Mostert said that when Tua came back in the building, he said he commands and demands the top out of you. We see Tua as this timid little dude that don't speak and this, but to his team, He is the complete heart and soul of that team, and they rally around him and take control. Raheem Mostert said to him that, this guy played on the 2019 San Francisco 49ers that was beast. He said this was the most talented team he's ever been part of. Next to 2019, he said, matter of fact, they're even more talented. The thing is, like Vic said, and I begged and pleaded because even Mike McDaniel said this, Tua, you have to go down. That's that Polynesian that's in him. He wants to keep fighting and fighting. Go down, bruh. Channel Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning used to go down with the sack, spin down, and fall down to avoid getting hurt. There's a reason for it. If it's lost, it's lost. Go down. We need you to keep on going so we can take this to the next level. We thinking playoffs and AFC titles. But if Tua's not healthy, this team does not move like they do when he's out, and it showed. He's that much of important. Plus, we have a defense that can take you to the next level as long as the offense moves. When we lost to the Jets, we forced them to punt 10 times. The offense just did not do their job. The defense did. And then once everything went downhill, fourth quarter, the Jets just went on the scoring spree. So it was like 3 plays that changed it all in the fourth quarter. The same way we lost to Buffalo last year. It was 11-14. And then when the offense wasn't scoring, the Buffalo Bills went on it. So when it comes to this game with Miami, just hit the simple throws, just make the plays, let Tyreek eat, let Waddle fly, let Gesicki post up, and you'll win this game with no problem.
Ty, on accident, you just gave me a coin phrase for Miami. They just got to do things to a T.
I love it.
Bars. So I'm assuming you're going with Miami?
Going with Miami, 28-17.
Hey, man, we appreciate you joining. You got a key that works anytime in this lab. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Enjoy the games. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. We got The Dish coming up this week. We got Stoppers Time coming this week. And 94 got a show coming up as well. So make sure you following, make sure you liking the channel, and make sure those notifications are on, because you just never know when we're going to go live on the scene. Vic, take us home, baby.
22, baby. Let's go.